All right, let's talk about Canon's new VCM lenses. Now, they're being hailed as a revolution for hybrid shooters that promising both a perfect blend of photo and video. But the price tag stretches well into four figures, and this is where you make that big risk. Picking the wrong focal length for your style just isn't a small oops, it's a potentially $1,000 mistake that can leave you with a beautiful piece of glass that just doesn't quite work for you. Now, you're ready to invest and you've seen all the hype, but you're just not quite 100% sure which was the right move, and that hesitation is justifiable. And that's exactly why I made this video. Hi, I'm Steve, and welcome to your guide to Canon's f1.4L VCM prime lens family. My goal here is simple, and by the end of this video, you'll be able to confidently choose the right lens for your work and invest your hard-earned money without making that fear of a costly mistake. So, let's get into it. Before we get into the specific lenses, let's clear the air here. And what the heck is VCM anyway, and why should you even care? VCM stands for Voice Coil Motor. Now, let's forget the engineering jargon for a second here. What you need to know is that this is the autofocus motor, and it's Canon's latest strategy for hybrid shooters. For years, motors have been getting better with tech like Nano, USM, and STM offering quiet and smooth performance. Now, VCM is the next evolution in that idea. It's designed to be incredibly fast and precise for still photography while also being whisper quiet and exceptionally smooth for professional videos. This means you can track a subject without your mic picking up the motor noise and pull off seamless cinematic focus transitions that don't look robotic at all. But this new line of prime lenses is about more than just a motor. It seems to represent a new design and philosophy for Canon. A key feature we're seeing is a dedicated manual iris ring, and for videographers, this is a game changer. It allows for smooth, stepless exposure changes while recording, and this is something you just can't do with the elegancy of a commercial or a command dial. This whole system feels like it was built from the ground up for creators who refuse to choose between their photo and video ambitions. As of today, Canon's official VCM prime lens family consists of the following 6 lenses. The Canon RF14 f1.4L VCM ultra-wide angle lens. It starts around $2,600. The Canon RF 20mm f1.4L VCM lens. It starts around $1,899. The Canon RF 24mm f1.4L VCM lens. It starts around $1,499. The Canon RF 35mm f1.4L VCM lens, starting around $1,565. The Canon RF 50mm f1.4L VCM lens, and this one I actually have myself, and it starts around $1,602. And finally, the Canon RF 85mm f1.4L VCM lens, and this one starts around $1,649. Canon designed this hybrid prime series to be exceptionally workflow friendly for videographers and cinematic crews who frequently swap lenses on a matte box or a gimbal rig. Because of this intentional design, 5 out of 6 of these VCM lenses share the exact same 67mm front filter diameter. The only exception here is the Canon RF 14mm f1.4L VCM ultra-wide angle lens. It has no front filter threads, and due to its ultra-wide field of view and its bulbous front element and the integrated lens hood, standard screw-on filters cannot be attached to the front. Instead, it uses a rear drop-in gel filter slot that accepts pre-cut filter sheets. And as a side note, the Canon RF24 f1.4L VCM lens features an adjustable rear filter holder as well. First up, the most extreme member of the family is the RF 14mm, and this lens is designed for one thing, and that's capturing breathtaking scale. Think epic landscapes, dramatic architectural interiors, and stunning astrophotography. Its key strength and is that unique immersive perspective combined with a blazing f1.4 aperture, letting you shoot in very low light in a way that few other lenses can do. For video, this is your tool for a powerful perspective warping, establishing shots that pull the viewers right in. But here's the mistake to avoid. This is not your general purpose lens. Its field of view is so wide that it requires a specific created vision. And a huge consideration for video shooters because of its front element design and integrated lens hood, you can't use standard screw-on filters. It uses a rear gel filter slot instead. Now, this lens weighs in about 1.3 pounds or 578 grams, is a specialized tool for creators who need to go wider than wide and are willing to work around its unique design. Now, the 20mm lens is a sweet spot. This lens offers sweeping angle views and is perfect for immersive vlogging where you want to capture yourself and the environment, or actually for grand establishing shots for travel films. Its strength is balancing that wide-angle drama with a more manageable distortion than the 14mm. It still feels epic, but subjects wouldn't feel as stretched at the edges, and it follows the design philosophy by having that standard 67mm filter thread. It's making it far more practical for video shooters that want to use variable neutral density filters. It does have one drawback, and that is the 20mm can still feel a bit wide for everyday shooting. It's a storyteller wide angle, not a portrait lens. But for those who want to pull the audience right into the action, 20mm would be the powerful and most versatile choice. Now, for years, 50mm was the standard, but for modern video creators, many would argue that 24mm is the new to-go-to lens. The RF24 1.4 embodies this philosophy perfectly. It's wide enough for environmental portraits and event coverages as well, like street photography, but not so wide that it creates distracting distortions. Its key strength is its sheer versatility. On a gimbal, it captures a whole scene, follows the subject through a crowd, and pushes it in for a more medium shot without feeling out of place. Now, this is the kind of lens, a workhorse lens, that feels natural for run-and-gun videos, and it has the same minimal focus breathing as its siblings, as well as focus pulls, and feels incredibly smooth and professional. The only mistake would be choosing a 24mm as your primary work in tight interviews. It won't give you the flattering compression of a long lens, but for event videographers and documentary filmmakers, the 24mm is a modern classic for this reason. Now, if one lens represents the soul of the VCM series right now, it's going to be the 35mm f1.4 L VCM. It's the most logical entry point into this system. The 35mm focal length is arguably the most versatile of all of time. It's perfect for documentary, wedding, travel, and just about any kind of filmmaking. It's wide enough to tell a story, but tight enough to create that intimacy. Its greatest strength in its balance of performance and that beloved field of view. It weighs a manageable 1.2 pounds or 555 grams and features the same handy 67 filter thread. However, some early technicians' reviews have pointed out the compromises to be aware of here. To achieve its size and price, the lens appears to rely on in-camera digital corrections for things like distortion and vignetting. Now, for most people, this is a total non-issue since the software handles it automatically. Still, it's good to know, despite that, for any creator looking for their first VCM prime, the 35mm is without a doubt the one to start with. The 50mm lens is the classic standard focal length. The VCM version takes its timeless perspective and optimizes it for a hybrid era. It's a perfect tool for half-body portraits, interviews, or in commercial product shots. Its key advantage is its positioning against Canon's other RF 50mm lenses. The VCM version is significantly more compact than the legendary but massive RF 50mm f1.2, making it a far better choice for your gimbal or video work. It delivers gorgeous subject separation in a package that won't break the back, or the gimbal motor for that matter. The only drawback is that the 50mm can sometimes feel a bit tight for run and gun work in small spaces. It forces you to be more deliberate, but for controlled situations like interviews or portrait sessions, a 50mm VCM would be the master. Finally, we have arrived at the 85mm f1.4 VCM. This is a specialist tool for creating absolutely stunning portraits. The 85mm focal length provides beautiful compression, which is incredibly flattering for human subjects and makes backgrounds just melt into a creamy blur. Its strength is simply bokeh. The 85 1.4 is engineered to render out-of-focus areas painterly perfect. For wedding photographers capturing intimate moments, or fashion photographers, or interviewers who need to completely isolate their subject, this lens would be the king. The VCM motor would ensure that with such a shallow depth of field, focus would be silent and decisive. Before considering making the 85mm your main lens, consider this though. It's a telephoto lens that needs space. You cannot use this for vlogging or shooting at tight quarters as well. It's a purpose-built instrument for creating beautiful, compressed subject isolation imagery. If that's the job, then this lens is what you've been waiting for. So, with all that said, which one do you choose? Well, it comes down to being honest about the work you do. For wedding and event videographers, the dream team is going to be the 35mm and the 85mm. The 35mm captures the story and the action, while the 85mm would be your tool for those breathtaking, intimate portraits. You could shoot the entire wedding with just these two lenses. For solo content creators and vloggers, your best bet is either going to be the 20mm or the 24mm. A 20mm is fantastic for showing off a lot of your environment, while a 24mm offers a more conventional, versatile look for those talking head shots and B-roll. For documentary and street filmmakers, the 35mm 1.4 is the undisputed champion today. Its combination of versatility, performance, and classic field of view is unmatched, and it's the ultimate run-and-gun storyteller's lens. For architectural or astro specialists, if your work demands the most dramatic perspective possible, the 14mm f1.4 is a unique and powerful tool that's available now. Just be ready to work with a specialized filterless lens design. For dedicated portrait shooters and interviewers, the 85mm 1.4 is your best bet. It's the clear choice for stunning compression and bokeh. If you think you need more flexibility or think an 85 is too tight, the 50mm f1.4 VCM is your best alternative. Choosing the right lens isn't about finding the one that's the best one. It's about finding out which one that feels like an extension of your creative voice. The VCM system from Canon is one of the most exciting developments for hybrid shooters in years, but a system is only as good as the choices you make within it. Now, I want to hear from you. Which one of these lenses do you own, if you own any of them, and which best fits your workflow? Let me know in the comments below, and which focal length is your to-go-to and why you use it. And I do read every single comment. Now, if this guide has helped you make more confident decisions on which lens to purchase, the best way to support this channel is to hit that like and subscribe button. Again, this is Steve, and thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.